Hello and welcome to episode 81 of VocTerGaming. I'm your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain. And we are here with game 2, continuing on from last Friday between these two players. First of all, we have our orange Protoss. He is Dignitas's dBlinG. And spawning on the mid left, we have our red Zerg. He is GLSnute. So, hooray, Bling, yay! Okay, love Bling, love the UK players, love the UK by the way, great bunch of guys in the UK. Don't forget, you can join us UK players at scforum.eu. Come on, hop on, check it out, we've got tournaments running now, Adsy's running them, other people, Heaven's going to be running some, it's going to be great fun. No matter your skill level, we're running one very shortly for bronze, silver, gold. Excuse the yawns. Once again, it is 10 to 9. I stayed up late watching replays of Lennox versus MVP from the GSL, which was amazing. And then I got up early to record this before work because I'm working really late today and it's stupid as hell. So don't worry, next week I'm starting on nights. So you will have nothing but yawns. You'll be lucky if I'm even awake. As we see Snute going for pool before hatch. A decision I generally don't like, especially on a map like this. The rush distance here, look at that, is huge. There is absolutely no way Bling is ever going to do anything here. Like, so long as you scout and check for proxy pylons, you are just safe. Bling, as we see, is expanding just before Snoop. As we see, no gateways there. He is in fact going expand first then forge. Interesting. Again, taking advantage of the fact that this map has a massive rush distance, meaning that you can expand, then forge, then put a cannon down, and still have that cannon be up in time to stop something like an 8 pull. So, you know, he's still going to be very safe here. And that's nice to see. I don't really have a lot else to talk about apart from the game today. There's not really a lot going on apart from the scforum.eu stuff. There's not really much happening right now in my life that you need to know about, other than that I'm really tired and I work too hard. And as we can see, there's not really a lot going on, so I'm going to take this time to have a drink. So just enjoy the visual. In fact, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Look at the dancing girl. Look at her dance. Look at her while I drink. Dancing away. Look at that. She blew you a kiss. You know who that kiss was for? That kiss was for Will. And now we're back with the actual game. Nice wall off here, using the cannon there to force any lings or whatever that want to do a run by to run right the way around and go up the ramp. So that ain't going to happen. Scouting, once stalkers are out especially, will be completely denied Snoop. Except for Mutars, which I assume he will get at some point should this game go that long, and I imagine it will. Gone are the days of when I woke up feeling tired and I would go, do you know what I will do? I will get a PvP match because I know it will only last 3 minutes. Sadly, that has gone from the PvP repertoire now, as we see Snoot expand here. Obviously this is a PvZ and they do tend to go on for a while. Zealot does get as far as the second queen, but then gets blocked by the Zerglings and will go down without seeing anything useful, or should go down anyway. What does he see? What does he see? He sees no second gas there. That is pretty much, that was a horrible noise. That is a horrible death noise. Oh wow. I feel so bad for all you Protoss players who have to hear that when your Zealots die. Evo chamber is going down now. It's going to allow for spores, spines, and of course upgrades. Oh, extractor trick there. So Snute really just sticking with one gas right now, focusing heavily on the expand. So as I say that, he does get a second gas up. That doesn't seem to be reactor tricky, so he should be actually allowing that to finish. Protoss ground weapons level 1 is on the way. Not a lot happening. If any of you watched DreamHack at the weekend, that was great fun. DreamHack was amazing. Liquid Hero, the winner, who was casting Liquid Hero games last week, that'd be this guy. That'd be this guy. Amazing prediction powers in my head. Fear me, fear my mind. Okay, Twilight Council going down now for Bling, along with a robotics bay going up as well, somewhere over the rainbow. I don't friggin' know where that is. It must be right at the back here. It is. Zerglings are getting in and doing a little bit of damage to the probes. Not too much, as we see 0 workers killed either side. So that robotics facility is going up. The neutral supply depot does go down. So really, Bling is trying to tech pretty fast. He wants to get both the robo facility and the Twilight Council at the same time, getting Blink for his stalkers, and I assume an observer. It seems like the way forward for me. Meanwhile, Hatchery is morphing into a lair, which is going to allow the Spire and Mutalisks, which is such an awkward word to say. Thank you, Blizzard, for choosing that name. Mutalisk. And a macro hatchery going up from Snute, along with taking out the destructible debris here. Perhaps we'll soon float that hatchery. I can't even say hatchery correctly this morning. Perhaps he will float that hatchery down to the expansion. That was the joke, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to finish the joke voice. As it is, I apologise now, because that was awful. And you all had to listen to it. So Lings are now massing up at the 3rd base. I like the inclusion of the macro hatchery. It just allows for so much more. Warp Prism is on the way out of that robotics bay, by the way, so that's going to be interesting. See some drops going on. We have ventral sacs going on. We have the pneumatized carapace, the Zergmalay attacks level 2, and a Baneling nest also on the way. And wow, Snute is expanding up to here now. So takes down this debris, but then expands up to here. I don't get the reasoning behind that, but I don't mind it either. I don't think it's a bad idea. Another expansion does go down for Bling. He has learned his lesson from the first game, and he knows he cannot just 2-base indefinitely. So Snute here is expanding up to here. I'd have still preferred an expansion to here. It would have been easy to drop, but of course it's much easier to connect with creep as well. So we have this Warp Prism coming in now, which is something that really should have happened a while ago. It is a bit late to start harassing. Of course, it's not too late to, you know, do a good harass. He can still kill a lot here. This is 4 sentries though. He needs to turn that Warp Prism into a warp source and bring in some zealots. I would like to see that happen. He is, however, killing an awful lot. Overlords with the Overlord speed are bringing in some units now. Ton of Queens. Can you put Queens into an Overlord? I don't see why not. Should have brought some Queens in. Spire is going down. Spine Crawlers are going down, which is great against sentries, but I'd rather have seen a Spore or 2 as well to fight the Warp Prism. Ground Armour level 1 is on the way for Snute, along with the Templar Archives. That allows high Templar play. And now we have once again workers going down to these sentries. This 4 sentry drop is actually really nice. And Snute, what are you doing? Not pulling his units. Why? Why would you just leave them here to die? I mean, now they're force fielded in, fine. But Snute is just letting them die. He's focusing entirely on this drop that I nearly entirely missed. That is just a huge Baneling drop, but it's not going to be enough because it's not going to take all this out. What are you thinking, Snute? That was not the way to go right now. We have 24 workers killed to 21 though, so, you know, perhaps that was enough. Interesting play. Finally, everything here does go down. All the workers here died to that attack. Overlords here escaping. Do still have units in them. What units? 4 Banelings, 8 Banelings, 8 Banelings coming in now. Oh, if all these units don't move. But no, he's going to go to this base. He's going to go to the 2nd base. But the Stalkers are blinked down there and waiting now. So will he drop the Banelings in time? I am entirely watching this. Bling is also moving out on the map. Using the Banelings against the Stalkers is not the best idea, but he does get a few more probes, so that is worthwhile. This force of Stalkers is now moving out on the map though from Bling, and he needs to. He needs to do some real damage right now. He is ahead in food count, but man, Snute is going to have the economy of a boss very, very shortly. Roach Warren is also up. This observer is going to scout up onto the high ground to allow him to blink up there, but he's not going to blink up there. He's just going to drop sentries and do nothing. Come on, Bling, that's it. Good lad. Using the shift blink technique to blink all his Stalkers up there, taking down an Overlord before it can drop him. Spire will now die. There is no stopping that from happening. So the Spire is dead, which means no more mutas after the first 11. Overlords are still dying, keeping him nearly supply blocked. Roach Warren and Baneling Nest are the next things to die, and this can be so powerful, this kind of attack, where you just go into a Zerg's main, take out all the production structures, and it takes forever to rebuild them. I'd like to see him focus down the lair as well. That would stop him rebuilding the Spire. Unfortunately, it is too late. The Spire has begun rebuilding, and now we have mutas coming in to try and take down the Warp Prism. Mutas, of course, not affected by that force field. This is a large army of Snute now, and it looks like he's just going to counter-attack, which seems counterproductive to me. Zerglings do not take down bases very quickly at all, but they are going to attack this pylon and then immediately run away from the Stalkers. So yes, not the best of ideas. As we see, the layer has gone down. The Evo chamber is going to bleed to death now. And look, yep, Snute has been forced to retreat back here. So that was not a wise idea, attempting to base trade there at all. This force of Stalkers has done a lot of damage, but they are going to get caught by the Lings. And there are just so many Lings and mutas here that is going to go down. They blink away, but the Zerglings are on them. And the Zerglings, of course, are faster than them. So they are going to surround and take them all out, blinking away. More Stalkers coming in, Archons and Zealots as well. This is a tough fight for Bling to watch his army die like this, but Snute is forced to retreat. Bling, well, did have a food count upper hand, not anymore. 18 more mutas, 20 more mutas on the way now, and Snute is just expanding again. Like, what is this guy on? That's amazing. Lose your main base, lose all the production facilities, what's your response? Oh, I'm just going to expand. Like, that is Zerg. That is how Zerg plays. None of this July Zerg rubbish where you just pick a time and go kill an opponent, you know. This is how Zerg plays. You expand. You stop an attack, you expand. You sneeze, you expand. Everything you do is about having a million billion more bases than your opponent. Once players start to use Nidus Worms as well, just setting up defensive Nidus Worms to protect, that is going to just increase things so much. Meanwhile, we have mutas once again doing a nice little attack here. It's not anything that brilliant. It is forcing Bling to bring his Stalkers into the base though, and the mutas can now escape. Essentially, this is just to stop Bling from doing an awful lot. That would have been a lovely time if he knew about this expansion to go and attack it, but I don't think he does. Spawning pool's been remade there. Let's check. No, he does not know about that. And the flock of mutas, which just gets bigger and bigger, is going to come in and take down the rest of these probes. They are all dead. Sorry, probes. Never mind. Stops 2. Takes out... Oh, it's taking out pylons for all the gateways. No more warp gates there for Bling, so he is going to be really frustrated right now. His production is pretty much halved by that one harass. So instead he's trying an all-out attack, but there's not enough here. I mean, there's enough that it's going to do some damage, you know, do not get me wrong, but this is not a game-winning amount of units, as we can see, as the Zerglings come in for a surround, blocking off some of the units, going to take down all the Zealots that didn't even look like they were fighting back half the time, which was strange. More Stalkers coming in now, blinking around and away, Archons doing the damage, and once again Snute retreats, but Snute is up at 171 supply. He has a 6th hatchery on the way, technically his 7th, but of course the main did die and he has not bothered to remake it. because really, why should he? You know, there's not a lot of minerals here, and there's a hell of a lot of minerals here, so why not just make your base up here? That's something else that's really, really nice. Expanding to fresh locations instead of rebuilding old ones. As ground armor level 3 now is on the way for Bling, which is nice. You know, upgrades are good, especially since he took out the Evo chamber of Snute, so those upgrades were stopped from occurring. I'd like to see this warp prism used again. He appears to have forgotten about it as the meteors come in and they're going to take down this expansion. Yes, they are. One more shot! And that dies. The Nexus goes down and Bling is once again just stuck. There is not a lot he can do right now. Oh, he's going to take down the pylons again and unpower all these gateways as well. Oh, my. Snute is just playing wonderfully. There's a huge engagement going on here. Baneling's taking down Zealots. This is actually a really nice attack from Bling, but again, once these meters come back, it's just not going to feel like enough. Oh, don't fly your meters right over the top of Stalkers. What are you doing, Snute? Snute just feels like he has enough meters to kill everything here. And to be honest, from the looks of it, he does. That is crazy. So many Stalkers dying right now, and not enough meters dying to make this effective for Bling. The DPS on these meters are so high. They do only have the 1 armor upgrade, no attack upgrade, so theoretically they should not have done that well, but damn, man. Snute just has it, you know. This guy is good. For a guy that, I will be quite honest, I have never heard of before last Friday. This guy is good. This guy has potential. He's playing like I think Zerg is gonna play in the next year or so. Again, coming in with these mutants, doing a harass, gonna take down these Stalkers, blinking them away, blinking more in now. He is forcing Snute to retreat, but Bling is at 68 food. Bling, I'm worried for you. I am worried. I am just gonna check the workers killed. Been out to 55 workers killed for Snute, and that is some nice muta harass. Now finally Zerg Flyer attacks level 1 is on the way. That's going to make the meters much more killy. I don't agree with that, by the way Snute has played with the mutas. Getting the armor upgrade first before the glaiveworm upgrade, simply because for your mutas in the early mid game, what you really want is that for them to harass and leave the minute they get shot at, so you don't really want them to get attacked at all. So the carapace upgrade is much more unnecessary than the ability to kill things quickly. Things have settled down. Spine crawlers are going up in defense. Bling is just rolling about with these Stalkers, and Bling has never really transitioned beyond this army composition of Stalker, Zealot, Archon with a heavy focus on Stalkers, and I'm afraid it's just not enough. You cannot just sit on this tech. Where's your High Templars? You know, with Sonic Storms on Zerglings rather, and Mutas, as once again a ton of Stalkers die. This just, I mean, this is a nice army composition, but it's clearly not working, and I just don't get it, you know? Why stick with something that isn't working? And there, in fact, Bling GG's, he sees it's not working, it's game over. The Mutas just have done so much damage, and I'm really sorry to see Bling lose like that, because he is a better player than was shown in that game. I think I have another game between these two yet to show. I think that's tomorrow. I'd have to check. Man, I'm just disappointed in Bling. It's wonderful to watch a guy like Snute play. Like, he gets Zerg. His creep spread isn't quite what I'd like from a Zerg yet, but, you know, what I'd like from a Zerg is pretty much Seal style creep spread, where you get creep in your opponent's main. You know, that's the kind of creep spread I'd like to see from a Zerg. But his expanding, his stopping of attacks is just spot on. It's everything I'd love to see from a Zerg player. It makes me want to play Zerg. That's how good it is. He is my grubby of Zerg. Anyway, that is the game over with. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.